In a small village in Africa, there lived a very evil man named Arrow. He was extremely old, but nobody knew exactly how old. Some people said he was as old as the village itself, while others believed he had made a deal with evil spirits to live forever. Arrow's secret to living so long was terrible. He would kidnap children and adults from the village and use their life force to keep himself alive. He performed wicked rituals, chanting strange words that scared even the bravest warriors. Nobody dared to confront Arrow because he had supernatural powers. He could disappear into thin air, leaving behind only a faint whisper of his presence. His eyes glowed like hot coals, striking fear into the hearts of those who crossed his path. But Arrow's greatest secret was tied to an ancient tree deep in the forest. The tree, known as the Tree of Life, held the key to Arrow's immortality. As long as the tree stood tall, Arrow would live on, feeding on the life force of innocent people. The villagers lived in constant fear of Arrow. They would whisper stories of his evil deeds in hushed tones, hoping he wouldn't hear them. They knew that if Arrow suspected anyone was talking about him, he would come for them. One day, a group of brave villagers decided they had had enough. They were tired of living in fear and wanted to put an end to Arrow's evil reign. The group was led by a young man named Omali, who had lost his sister to Arrow's wicked rituals. Omali and his group began to investigate Arrow's secrets. They spoke to the villagers, gathering information about the evil old man's powers and weaknesses. They discovered that Arrow's powers were tied to the Tree of Life and that if they could destroy the tree, they could break Arrow's curse. The group made a plan to cut down the Tree of Life. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were determined to put an end to Arrow's evil deeds. They gathered their machetes and set off towards the tree, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. As they approached the tree, Arrow appeared, his eyes blazing with fury. "You fools," he shouted. "You think you can kill me? I have lived for centuries, and I will live for centuries more." But Omali and his group stood firm. They knew they had to be brave if they wanted to save their village. With a collective swing of their machetes, they began to cut down the Tree of Life. The tree creaked and groaned as it began to fall. Arrow screamed in rage, but it was too late. The tree crashed to the ground, sending shockwaves through the forest. At first, there was silence. Then, a strange, pungent smell wafted through the air. The villagers began to feel a creeping sense of dread as they realized that they had unleashed a terrible curse. One by one, the villagers who had cut down the tree began to fall ill. Their bodies were racked by painful diseases, and they stumbled and fell, their eyes clouding over with a milky white film. The villagers who had not participated in the tree's destruction watched in horror as their loved ones succumbed to the curse. But amidst the chaos and death, there was a sense of relief. Arrow, the evil old man, was nowhere to be found. His powers had been broken, and his hold on the village was finally at an end. As the last of the villagers who had cut down the tree took their final breath, the village erupted in a mixture of grief and celebration. The evil old man was dead, and the village was finally free from his terror. The villagers hosted a feast to mark the occasion, and as they sat around the fire, sharing stories of Arrow's evil deeds, they knew that they would never forget the lessons of the Tree of Life. They had learned that sometimes, the only way to defeat evil is to face it head-on, even if it means making the ultimate sacrifice. And so, the village began to rebuild. They worked together to restore their homes and their lives, always remembering the brave men and women who had given their lives to save them from Arrow's evil grasp. The village would never forget the evil old man and the terrible curse he had unleashed upon them. But they would also never forget the bravery and sacrifice of those who had saved them. Please do well to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.